We are all still processing the tragedy of Rob Reiner. I mean,
Well, I remember him getting to work with them on North, the movie I did with him. It's hard to be happy.
Reba McEntire has exposed the 5 actors she'll never forgive. Behind the decades of stardom and success, Reba's career has been marked by rivalries, betrayals, and unforgettable clashes that have shaped her professional journey. These weren't small misunderstandings either, but deep industry wounds involving actors she says she can never forgive. What really happened? Who crossed the line? And why did Reba finally decide to expose it now? Stick around and watch till the very end, because this story gets more shocking as it unfolds. Number 5. The co-star who took credit for her work. The television series Reba launched McEntire into the homes of millions as a beloved sitcom star. From 2001 to 2007, viewers watched her portray suburban mom Reba Hart, navigating life's challenges in Houston with remarkable wit and charm. While the show cemented her crossover success from country music to television, it also became the stage for one of her most significant professional disappointments. Before the cameras started rolling on Reba, McEntire had already established herself as country music royalty. Her transition to television represented a natural evolution for an artist who had always connected deeply with audiences. The show featured a talented ensemble cast, including Melissa Peterman as Barbara Jean, Christopher Rich as Brock, Reba's ex-husband, Joanna Garcia Swisher as her daughter Cheyenne, and Steve Howie as Van, Cheyenne's boyfriend. Initially, the working relationship between McEntire and her co-stars appeared harmonious. The chemistry among the cast members translated into authentic performances that resonated with viewers. Nonetheless, behind the sitcom's lighthearted facade, professional tensions were brewing that would ultimately lead to a significant rift. As Reba gained popularity, one co-star allegedly began taking credit for the show's success in industry circles and media interviews. According to sources close to the production, this individual gradually positioned themselves as the creative force behind many of the show's most successful elements, from script improvements to character development decisions that had actually originated with McEntire. The situation escalated during the later seasons when the co-star reportedly started demanding more screen time and character development at the expense of McEntire's storylines. Despite being the titular character and an executive producer, McEntire found herself fighting to maintain her position and creative influence on her own show. Furthermore, in private industry gatherings, this co-star would reportedly minimize McEntire's contributions, suggesting that her fame as a country singer, rather than her acting abilities or creative input, was the only reason for the show's success. The entertainment industry initially remained unaware of the behind-the-scenes tension. Critics and fans alike celebrated the show's ensemble dynamic, unaware of the power struggle occurring off-camera. However, subtle hints began appearing in trade publications as unnamed sources referenced creative differences among the cast. Television critics occasionally noted shifts in the show's focus and character development that aligned with the timeline of the alleged conflict. Nevertheless, the professional facade maintained by both McEntire and her co-star prevented the situation from becoming public knowledge during the show's original run. After the series concluded, industry insiders began to acknowledge the tension. Several producers who worked with both stars subsequently mentioned the challenging dynamic in interviews, though they typically avoided naming names out of professional courtesy. The experience fundamentally changed McEntire's approach to collaborative projects. Following this disappointment, she became more protective of her creative contributions and more selective about her professional partnerships. This shift in mindset prepared her for another significant career challenge when, following her divorce from Narvel Blackstock, she took on the role of her own manager. Though she admitted this wasn't a change she wanted in any shape, form, or fashion, she handled the transition with impressive skill and grace. In subsequent interviews, McEntire has referenced learning to trust her instincts and stand firm in her creative vision, lessons seemingly born from her earlier television experience. Additionally, she became more deliberate about establishing clear expectations and boundaries in professional relationships. Despite these challenges, McEntire continued to build an impressive acting portfolio alongside her music career. Her resilience allowed her to move beyond the disappointment, focusing instead on new opportunities, including her Las Vegas residency with Brooks and Dunn that extended into 2017, and appearances as a guest judge on America's Got Talent. The co-star in question has maintained a steady career in television, though never achieving the level of consistent success enjoyed by McEntire across multiple entertainment platforms. In recent years, discussion of a potential Reba reboot has reignited interest in the original cast's dynamic. During a cast reunion, the atmosphere appeared cordial, suggesting that time may have softened some of the professional wounds. Steve Howey, who played Van on the show, expressed enthusiasm about a possible revival, stating, "Reba says, 'Jump,' and I'll say, 'How high?' an indication of the respect McEntire still commands among at least some of her former colleagues. Currently, McEntire continues to expand her influence in the entertainment industry, including her role as a coach on The Voice, alongside new co-coaches Dan plus Shay. Meanwhile, her former co-star has largely avoided direct references to their time working together on Reba. Throughout her career, McEntire has generally maintained a policy of professional discretion regarding past conflicts. Instead of publicly criticizing former colleagues, she has focused on positive relationships and new projects. However, she has occasionally alluded to learning difficult lessons about trusting creative partners. In one particularly revealing interview, she emphasized the importance of receiving proper credit for one's work, a statement many industry insiders interpreted as a reference to her experience on Reba. Most significantly, McEntire has demonstrated that her approach to conflict resolution involves moving forward rather than dwelling on past grievances. Her continued success across multiple entertainment platforms serves as perhaps her most effective response to those who underestimated her contributions. Recently, she has become more protective of her public image, actively refuting false claims about her. In early 2023, she made a point of denouncing very outlandish allegations that had surfaced online, demonstrating her commitment to maintaining control of her narrative after years of experiencing others attempting to shape it for her. Despite the difficult experience, McEntire's professionalism prevented the situation from derailing the show or her career. Instead, she transformed the disappointment into a catalyst for personal growth and professional empowerment. For decades, Reba McEntire has been known as gracious, professional, and almost impossibly kind in an industry that isn't always kind back. That's exactly why this moment hits so hard. Because behind the smiles, the awards, and the legendary career, there were names she never forgot and wounds that never fully healed. When Reba finally decided to speak, it wasn't loud or messy, but it was honest. And honesty can sting more than anger ever could. The 5 actors she names didn't just disappoint her, they changed how she moved in Hollywood forever. Stay with this story till the very end, because the final name will surprise almost everyone. Number 4. Rob Reiner. In stark contrast to her television experiences, Reba McEntire's film career reveals another painful chapter, one involving a renowned Hollywood director whose on-set treatment left lasting wounds. Her journey through the film industry exposed her to both opportunity and heartbreak, especially in her interactions with acclaimed filmmaker Rob Reiner. The country music icon's relationship with Rob Reiner began in the early 1990s when she was cast in his 1994 film, North. This comedy drama featured McEntire alongside an impressive ensemble including Elijah Wood, Jason Alexander, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Bruce Willis, and Dan Aykroyd. For McEntire, this represented a significant opportunity to establish herself in mainstream cinema after her successful transition to acting. Prior to working with Reiner, McEntire had already demonstrated her acting abilities in films like Tremors and The Little Rascals. Her versatility as a performer was evident as she moved between music, television, and film projects with apparent ease. Moreover, her venture into Hollywood came during a period when she was expanding her artistic horizons, eventually lending her voice to animated productions like Charlotte's Web. The collaboration with Reiner extended beyond the film set. He also contributed to her music career by helping with the ending sequence of her 1993 music video, Does He Love You?, her hit duet with Linda Davis. This professional relationship initially seemed beneficial for both parties, with Reiner providing his directorial expertise to McEntire's burgeoning visual storytelling. The difficulties began during production of North, where sources indicate Reiner's directing style clashed dramatically with McEntire's approach to her character. On multiple occasions, witnesses reported seeing Reiner publicly criticize McEntire's performance choices in front of the entire cast and crew, a humiliating experience for someone already established as a respected performer in her own field. One particularly challenging incident allegedly occurred when Reiner loudly proclaimed that McEntire's performance was too country for the sophisticated tone he wanted for the film. This public criticism stung especially hard given that McEntire had been specifically cast, at least in part, because of her authentic persona and natural charisma. The situation worsened when Reiner reportedly reshot several of McEntire's scenes without properly explaining his creative decisions, leaving her to discover the changes during production meetings. This approach left McEntire feeling undermined and disrespected as an artist. Concurrently, McEntire faced another professional disappointment related to film work. She had been originally cast to play the role of Molly Brown in James Cameron's Titanic. However, scheduling conflicts forced her to decline when production timelines shifted. As McEntire explained, "We were on tour, and I had a lot of people on the payroll. We had these 3 months already scheduled to do the movie, and then they got behind on scheduling and said, 'No, we're going to have to move it in this time,' so we couldn't reschedule all the arenas and everything." This missed opportunity, the role eventually went to Kathy Bates, added to McEntire's frustration during this period of her career. When asked if she regretted the decision, McEntire candidly admitted, "Well, sure, absolutely, but you've got to take care of your people." The industry response to the tension between McEntire and Reiner remained largely muted at the time. North received mixed reviews upon its release, with critics focusing primarily on the film's concept and overall execution rather than individual performances. Film industry observers noted that McEntire's role in North was relatively small compared to some of the more established film actors in the cast. Consequently, any on-set conflicts remained largely insider knowledge rather than public controversy. Years later, when discussing difficult on-set experiences, entertainment journalists occasionally referenced the challenging dynamic between McEntire and Reiner. Though specific details remained scarce, the professional film community generally maintained discretion regarding these conflicts, preserving the illusion of harmony that often masks Hollywood's behind-the-scenes tensions. In contrast to these industry dynamics, a series of questionable reports emerged years later claiming McEntire had filed a $50 million lawsuit against The View and Whoopi Goldberg for allegedly damaging her reputation. However, these claims appeared in low-reliability sources and contained inconsistent information. suggesting they were likely fabricated. The experience with Reiner fundamentally altered McEntire's approach to film projects. Following North, she became notably more selective about her cinematic roles, often gravitating toward projects where she had greater creative input or worked with directors known for collaborative approaches. This caution extended to her management of professional relationships across all entertainment sectors. Friends and colleagues noted McEntire developed a more assertive stance in creative discussions, ensuring her perspective received appropriate consideration before committing to projects. The Titanic decision similarly influenced her career philosophy. While acknowledging the missed opportunity, McEntire repeatedly emphasized that taking care of her touring team remained the right choice. This dedication to her professional obligations, even at personal cost, became a defining characteristic of her management style. Perhaps most significantly, these experiences reinforced McEntire's commitment to maintaining control of her own career trajectory. Rather than allowing setbacks to define her, she used them as motivation to diversify her professional portfolio across multiple entertainment platforms, a strategy that ultimately contributed to her longevity in the industry. In December 2025, Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, were found dead in their California home. Their daughter reportedly discovered the couple, and authorities subsequently arrested their son, Nick Reiner, in connection with the deaths. This tragic development shocked the entertainment industry, prompting numerous tributes from colleagues and collaborators. Before this shocking end, Reiner had maintained his status as a respected filmmaker and occasional actor. His body of work spanning decades established him as an influential figure in Hollywood, with many considering his films like When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, and A Few Good Men among the medium's classics. Throughout the years since their collaboration on North, Reiner and McEntire maintained professional distance, rarely referencing their work together in interviews or public appearances. Industry insiders noted that both moved forward in their careers without publicly revisiting any tensions from their shared past. Despite the challenging on-set experience, McEntire demonstrated remarkable grace following news of Reiner's death. In a heartfelt Instagram tribute, she posted a throwback photo of herself with the director, writing, "I enjoyed every minute I was around Rob Reiner. He was one of a kind. I got to work with him on the movie North, and he also helped us with our ending of my video, Does He Love You? I sure will miss him. What a gift he was to this world. Rest in peace, my friend." Speaking with entertainment tonight about the tragedy, McEntire found it incredibly difficult to stay positive amid the shocking circumstances. She reflected, "It's been a very emotional day, along with what happened in Australia and Brown University, Rob and his family, lovely wife. It's hard to be happy and energetic. All we can do is look back and lift all those people up and say, thanks for being here with us the time you were." Her gracious tribute revealed McEntire's capacity to separate past professional conflicts from her human response to tragedy. In her final assessment of Reiner, she stated, "He was so gracious to be a part of my video, Does He Love You, with Linda Davis, and he was just so much fun. Open, great director, great person. His legacy is his work. I sure will miss him. He was a great guy." This magnanimous response underscores McEntire's professional maturity and personal growth since their difficult collaboration. By focusing on positive aspects of their relationship while acknowledging his contributions to her career, McEntire demonstrated the complexity of entertainment industry relationships, where creative tensions may exist alongside genuine respect for talent and accomplishment. Sometimes forgiveness comes easily, and sometimes it doesn't come at all. Reba McEntire knows that better than most. As her career unfolded, Filled with success and admiration, there were moments that quietly reshaped her trust in people she once respected. These weren't small misunderstandings or harmless mistakes. They were moments that lingered, followed her for years, and refused to fade. When Reba finally revealed the 5 actors she will never forgive, it wasn't about revenge. It was about truth. Each story adds another layer to who she really is behind the fame. Keep watching till the very end, because the last story changes everything you think you know. Number 3. Laura Putty Stroud. Unlike the professional conflicts of her career, the personal betrayal by Laura Putty Stroud cut much deeper for country music legend Reba McEntire. The painful chapter unfolded after her 26-year marriage ended, demonstrating how even the closest friendships can unravel under extraordinary circumstances. Throughout her decades in the spotlight, Reba cultivated a trusted inner circle of friends who provided stability amid her hectic career. Among this select group was Laura Putty Stroud, a successful real estate agent whose friendship with McEntire spanned many years. Their relationship appeared genuinely close, with the pair frequently spending time together at various events and celebrations. Social media captures of their friendship showed them enjoying concerts together, including a memorable Katy Perry show where they posed wearing colorful wigs. Such moments illustrated the apparent depth of their connection, making what followed all the more unexpected and painful. After Reba and her husband Narvel Blackstock announced their separation in August 2015, she expressed optimism about the future despite the heartbreak. In an interview shortly after the announcement, she stated, "I look forward to what's next," adding with characteristic faith, "God is my manager, my tour manager, my scheduler, everything, and He'll come up with the greatest things." Yet behind these hopeful statements, a more complex scenario was unfolding. By January 2016, merely months after finalizing her divorce, reports began circulating about a romantic relationship between Narvel Blackstock and Laura Putty Stroud. The revelation that her ex-husband had begun dating her close friend sent shockwaves through McEntire's personal life and the country music community. The timeline raised troubling questions about whether this relationship had begun before the divorce was finalized. As one source bluntly described it, it was a bombshell. No one saw it coming. This assessment underscored the shock value of discovering that someone from McEntire's trusted inner circle had crossed such a fundamental boundary. Media coverage of this personal development was extensive, primarily highlighting the uncomfortable dynamic of a friend dating an ex-spouse so soon after a divorce. The public largely sympathized with McEntire, recognizing the dual betrayal she faced from both her former husband and longtime friend. Certainly, the most surprising aspect for many observers was McEntire's gracious response. Rather than publicly denouncing either party, she maintained a dignified silence about her personal feelings. This restraint earned her additional respect from fans and industry colleagues alike. Speculation about the timeline of the relationship persisted in entertainment columns. The apparent speed with which Narvel and Laura became serious led many to question whether their connection had formed while Reba and Narvel were still married. As one source noted, how McEntire's ex-husband and his new girlfriend became so serious just 1 year after the former couple finalized their divorce raised speculations that their relationship may have commenced long before the split. The personal betrayal fundamentally changed how McEntire approached close friendships, making her more cautious about whom she allowed into her innermost circle. Nevertheless, her professional resilience remained intact. In a remarkable display of composure, she continued her business relationship with Narvel through their jointly run Starstruck Entertainment. This period also coincided with increased scrutiny of McEntire's personal life. Beyond the actual events with Laura and Narvel, she began facing an onslaught of fabricated stories and social media scams. In recent years, she has had to issue multiple statements warning fans about imposters using her name on social media to request money or promote products like CBD gummies. In November 2023, she posted an urgent warning on Instagram stating, "I and my team will never correspond with you from a direct message or cell phone number asking you for money in order to meet me." The statement emphasized in bold red letters, "Please protect yourself online." Laura and Narvel's relationship continued publicly following the initial revelation. Social media evidence showed them celebrating significant moments together, including ringing in the new year as a couple in 2019 with a video of them kissing shared on Stroud's Instagram. Reports suggested the pair eventually married, although precisely when the wedding occurred remains unclear. Their relationship has maintained a public profile, occasionally intersecting with the country music community, where Reba remains a beloved figure. Interestingly, other country music figures maintained relationships with both parties. Blake Shelton reportedly officiated Narvel's wedding to Laura, despite his professional connections to Reba. This created additional complexity within Nashville's tight-knit entertainment circles. Surprisingly, McEntire maintained cordial relations with the couple following the betrayal. As one source explained, she surprisingly remained friends with the couple and continued her business relationship with Narvel as co-runners of Starstruck Entertainment. This professional approach demonstrated McEntire's commitment to separating personal pain from business obligations. Her most significant response came through how she lived her life afterward. By 2020, McEntire had moved forward romantically, beginning a relationship with actor Rex Linn. In an April 2023 interview with E! News, she even indicated openness to marriage again, saying, "If that's something he feels totally strong about, that's fine with me. He's never been married before, so if he wants to experience that, I'm okay with that." This graceful evolution following personal betrayal exemplifies why McEntire remains one of country music's most respected figures, not just for her artistic achievements, but for her character in navigating life's most challenging moments. Hollywood loves polished stories, but it hides the mess behind closed doors. Reba McEntire lived that reality for decades. While fans saw success, laughter, and chart-topping hits, she was quietly collecting memories she never thought she'd share. Until now. The 5 actors Reba exposes aren't random names. Each one represents a moment where respect was broken and trust was crossed in ways that still echo today. Some of these stories were whispered for years. Others were completely unknown. As the list unfolds, the tension only grows stronger. Stick around till the very end, because the final revelation is the one no one saw coming. Number 2. Miranda Lambert. Beyond personal relationships and professional collaborations, Reba McEntire's career has been shaped by fierce competition for country music's most prestigious honors. Her long-running awards rivalry with Miranda Lambert reveals how recognition in Nashville can sometimes turn contentious. As one of country music's most decorated performers, McEntire has accumulated an impressive collection of accolades throughout her 5-decade career. Her competitive nature is well documented. In a candid Esquire interview, McEntire admitted, "I'm very competitive. I get a #1 record, I want another number 1 record. I win an award, I want another one." This drive for recognition contrasts sharply with some of her contemporaries' attitudes. The rivalry intensified at the 54th ACM Awards in 2019, where McEntire hosted for the 16th time. During her opening monologue, she directly called out the Academy of Country Music for failing to nominate any women in the prestigious Entertainer of the Year category. "Do you know it snowed in Las Vegas just a few weeks ago?" McEntire remarked from the stage. "It was so cold, it froze us women out of Entertainer of the Year." This pointed criticism drew gasps from the audience as she continued her advocacy for female artists. Tensions allegedly escalated further following their 2025 collaboration on Trailblazer at the 60th ACM Awards. According to reports, McEntire's bossy approach during promotional appearances left Lambert and fellow performer Lainey Wilson feeling overshadowed. Sources claimed McEntire took center stage in media coverage after the performance. The industry largely supported McEntire's advocacy for female artists. Her criticism of the ACM's gender imbalance resonated with many observers, considering that only 8 women had won Entertainer of the Year, despite the award being presented 48 times since 1971. Regarding the alleged Trailblazer tensions, no credible industry publications confirmed any discord. Neither McEntire, Lambert, nor Wilson publicly acknowledged any conflict. The speculation appeared limited to tabloid sources like the National Enquirer, with mainstream outlets not verifying these claims. The award show tensions reinforced McEntire's reputation as an advocate for female artists, while highlighting fundamental differences in her approach to recognition compared to Lambert. In one revealing exchange, McEntire wished Lambert good luck at an awards ceremony where Lambert was nominated for Female Vocalist of the Year. Lambert reportedly responded, "Oh, I already won. It's time for somebody else." McEntire was stunned, admitting, "What person lets that come out of their mouth? I was shocked. I thought everybody was just like me." Miranda Lambert has established herself as country music's most decorated female artist at the ACM Awards with 37 wins, including 9 for Female Vocalist of the Year. She has built a reputation for supporting emerging artists like Lainey Wilson. McEntire continues her successful career across multiple platforms, including her coaching role on The Voice, alongside Niall Horan, Snoop Dogg, and Michael Bublé. Reports suggest her take-charge style occasionally ruffled feathers among co-stars there as well. Despite the competitive dynamics, McEntire demonstrated genuine support for Lambert and Wilson. At the 2025 ACM Awards, she praised Wilson's accomplishments. "I'm so proud of Lainey, who's earned 5 ACM Award nominations tonight, including Entertainer of the Year. From this belt-buckle girl to the bell-bottom cowgirl, I'm blown away by her work ethic." McEntire's representatives have explicitly denied any feud between the performers. While their approaches to awards and recognition differ fundamentally, their professional relationship continues to evolve, balancing competitive tension with mutual respect for their contributions to country music. There's a certain pain that comes from being wronged by people you admired. Reba McEntire experienced that pain more than once, and she carried it quietly for years. This isn't a list fueled by bitterness. It's a reflection shaped by time, growth, and hard-earned boundaries. The 5 actors Reba refuses to forgive didn't just hurt her feelings. They altered her sense of trust in an industry she once believed in completely. As each name comes into focus, the emotional weight becomes heavier. And by the end, it all makes sense. Keep watching till the very end, because the last story explains why some wounds never truly heal. Number 1. Blake Shelton. Mentorship relationships in country music often shape careers, yet even the strongest professional bonds can fracture. For Reba McEntire, her connection with Blake Shelton exemplifies how industry alliances can evolve from supportive to strained. Initially, Shelton demonstrated genuine admiration for McEntire, frequently asking her to join The Voice as a coach. Their professional relationship dated back to Season 1 in 2011, when McEntire served as Shelton's advisor during the battle rounds. The rupture allegedly occurred after McEntire's 2015 divorce from Narvel Blackstock. Reports suggest Shelton officiated Narvel's wedding to Laura Putty Stroud, McEntire's former friend, creating an uncomfortable dynamic in Nashville's close-knit community. The situation reportedly left McEntire feeling blindsided, especially given the deeply personal nature of the betrayal. In an industry where loyalty and respect are quietly expected, Shelton's decision was seen by some as a line crossed. From that point on, insiders say the warmth between them noticeably cooled. Publicly, both maintained cordial appearances. Yet, industry whispers hinted at the awkwardness, especially considering Shelton's continued professional relationship with McEntire through The Voice franchise. Ultimately, McEntire joined The Voice as a coach in Season 24, admitting she initially declined and was really dreading it at first. Shelton departed The Voice after serving as its longest-tenured coach, whereas McEntire returned for Season 28 alongside Snoop Dogg, Michael Bublé, and Niall Horan. Throughout the complex relationship, McEntire maintained her characteristic grace. As she told one interviewer about her coaching philosophy, "We encourage, we lift up." With this, we have come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do well to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. To enjoy more thrilling stories, click now on the following video that pops up on your screen.